Yaw naman kayo sa inyong kapwa Pilipino.
Wala nga kayong isang proof na confidential funds yan.
Good evening po sa inyo lahat. Ako po si Christian Esguera and welcome po sa ating Facts First Doubleheader for tonight. Ngayon po ay April 23, 2026, the day after that explosive House of Representatives impeachment hearing sa pangunguna po of course ng House Committee on Justice, kung saan samot-sari po yung mga revelation na nadinig natin kahapon. No? Pangunahin po dyan ay itong 6.7 billion in suspicious and covered transactions by Sara Duterte and her husband, covering specific number of years at tila malabo yata mag-coincide dun sa kanyang mga declared sa kanyang statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Okay? So ito ba yung pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi. We have a double header for tonight. For our first episode, we have with us again, siya po yung tagapamuno ng House Committee on Justice, si Congresswoman Jervil Jinky Luistro. Magandang gabi po and thank you for joining us again dito po sa Facts First.
Good evening, Christian, and good evening to all the followers and viewers of Facts First.
Okay, disclosure lang sa mga viewers natin, lagi ko po sinasabi ito, no? So this is a recorded episode at exactly 6:33 p.m. So by the time na pinanood niyo na po ito, 2 hours later. Fresh na fresh pa naman po, no? Una, I'd like to get your thoughts, Congresswoman, no? Dito sa press conference ng mga abogado ni Vice President Sara Duterte. They said that they didn't want to do a back and forth, my words, no, not theirs. Mas maganda sumagot sa proper forum. Pero basically, yun din ginawa nila kanina. I'd like to get your thoughts on this na nagpa-press con sila after the impeachment hearing imbis na humarap doon sa mismong hearing. What do you think of that?
Well, ito yung palaging sinasabi natin during our opening statement, no? Na sana, if they have reactions, comments, or answers to the proceedings of the Justice Committee, it is best that they do it before the Justice Committee. Ito yung paulit-ulit kong sinasabi na dito ang proper forum. Sa Justice Committee ang proper forum. Nonetheless, Christian, it appears to me dun sa kanilang press con na they are acknowledging already that this will be reaching a trial, no? Kasi they're claiming an opportunity to scrutinize. They're claiming opportunity to cross-examine dahil kulang at malabo pa daw. Well, it seems to me that they are joining the position of the Justice Committee that trial is really necessary. But that will happen, of course, after the determination of probable cause.
Okay, you mentioned the determination of probable cause. Based on what were revealed yesterday at saka noong April 14, do you think, based dun sa mga lumabas lang dun sa dalawang impeachment hearings na yun po, mukha bang na umabot na o na-satisfy na yung requirement at least for probable cause?
Balikan muna natin, Christian, yung confidential fund, no? Remember that Attorney Camora presented or cited the decision of the commission proper denying the appeal. Technically, they affirmed the notice of disallowance of the 73 million corresponding to the fourth quarter of 2022 OVP confidential fund. And then she cited as well the 3 additional notices of disallowance, which correspond to the first 3 quarters of 2023 OVP confidential fund as well. Sa akin, in my personal capacity, and even with the way I hear it from my colleagues who are actively working or participating in the Justice Committee, the threshold is very low. It is only probable cause. So definitely, that decision, the notices of disallowance, even surpass the threshold of probable cause. Remember, probable cause is described merely as justification to be able to proceed to trial, no?
Okay,
So
bago
that is
natin
with
puntahan,
respect to confidential fund.
sorry for cutting you off, no. Bago po natin puntahan yung pangalawa dito sa mga suspicious and covered transactions, no. Tsaka dun sa kanyang alleged ill-gotten wealth. Dun po sa confidential funds, kasi ang ginagamit na argument ng kanyang mga taga-suporta, especially sa social media, sinasabi nila, hindi, dapat ipaliwanag yan na hindi pa tapos yung proseso dyan sa COA. Kahit dun sa 73 million, in-affirm na ng COA proper yung previous ruling na dapat ay isole dahil meron notice of disallowance. Argument nila, hindi pwede pa rin tumakbo yan or umakyat sa Supreme Court. Would that even be a valid argument at this stage when you are only supposed to determine probable cause?
That is the point, Christian. Why need to exhaust all the remedies until the petition before the Supreme Court? Why need to wait for the decision on the last recourse of filing a petition for review before the Supreme Court when tamang-tama ka doon? The threshold is only probable cause, no? At ulitin natin, this is described as mere justification to be able to proceed to trial. I wish to add, Christian, magkaiba ang proceeding ng impeachment vis-a-vis itong restitution dito sa Commission on Audit, no? Ang purpose dito sa Commission on Audit of these notices of disallowance is to seek restitution of public fund. Iba itong sa impeachment. Impeachment seeks to remove and to impose perpetual disqualification to erring impeachable official. So they can actually be considered in a parallel way. Ibig sabihin, pwede silang tumakbo ng sabay. At balikan natin yung pinag-usapan natin kanina, threshold is merely probable cause. So I don't think that exhausting all these remedies will be necessary for us to be able to determine the existence of the required threshold, and that is probable cause.
Okay, puntahan po natin yung kahapon, yung sinabi na dun sa report po ng AMLAC na 6.7 million yung halaga ng mga transactions, inflows and outflows doon sa bank accounts identified with the Vice President and her husband. What exactly did it show, indicate, or even prove at this stage?
Christian, that's billion.
Ay, so ano ba
6.7
ano ba nasabi ko?
billion. You said million.
Ay, sorry. Sorry. Ang laking kabawasan.
It's okay. It's
billion,
okay.
billion.
That's-
I stand
it's
corrected. Sorry.
6.7 billion.
Billion.
What is
Yes.
significant here, itong 6.7 billion na ito, which is contained in the report of the Anti-Money Laundering Council, no? Hindi mo siya makita doon sa SALN. Of course, most of this are cash transaction or deposit or withdrawal or credit memo or investment that somehow should have been reflected in the SALN, no? So ang maliwanag agad dito, Christian, non-disclosure in the statement of assets and liabilities and net worth, no? In addition to that, if this amount of 6.7 billion transaction cannot be explained with respect to their sources, then there is a basis as well to say that there's a possibility that this is unexplained wealth, no? But of course, it will depend on the majority of the justice members how they will appreciate this. Pero ang klarong-klaro dito is the big disparity of the amount declared in the SALN vis-a-vis the amount of transactions flagged down by the Anti-Money Laundering Council.
Okay. Yung isa ko na nakikita at nadidinig na argument nila rito ay dapat daw ipaliwanag to, no? Kasi naging aggregate yan eh. Inad yung mga pumasok at lumabas na pera. Kanina ang paliwanag ng yung kanyang tagapagsalita, si Attorney Poa, example niya, 1,000 pesos kunwari deposit. Tapos withdraw ko same 1,000 pesos. Pag kinumpute yung transaction ng AMLAC, that's 2,000 pesos when in fact zero yung balance doon sa bangko pinag-uusapan. Ang sa akin po rito, no? Kung yun ang argument logically sa ganyang pinag-uusapan po natin, Do you see any justification, at least at this point, no? Base sa mga detalyeng nakakalap nyo kahapon, yung amount na 6.7 billion in transactions, kung ibabangga yun sa total net worth mentioned in their SALN. Kasi 2007, 7.5 million, tapos 88.5 million by 2024.
It is hard to reconcile actually, no? Kasi most of the transactions reported by AMLAC is cash transaction. So if we focus on the cash declaration and the money in bank from 2019 to 2025, zero declaration na. Ito yung sinasabi ni Congressman Joel Chua na, di wow, no? So
Bakit
how will you tally a zero declaration in the SALN with the report of AMLC millions of transactions during the period of 2019 up to 2025? The transactions reported in AMLAC should have been disclosed as well dito sa SALN. Kaya while the endorsers really have to connect the unexplained wealth with the report of AMLAC, ang maliwanag na dito is already the non-disclosure in the SALN.
Kanina, nung nung pinanood ko po yung press ko ng kanyang mga abogado, meron silang paliwanag dito eh. Tama raw yung sinabi ng ilang mga miyembro ng House Justice Committee kahapon po na wala raw line item doon sa kanyang SALN 2019. Sabi niya hanggang 2025, no? I thought hanggang 2024 lang. Kaya daw siya none kasi yun daw cash on hand at saka in bank, dineclare daw nila doon sa others.
Of course, it's easy to say, but this only means that there is a reason why we should proceed to trial after the determination of the probable cause. Because presenting these items, the cash and the deposit in bank, in other items such as others, no, will be probing already, will require cross-examination already. So it is as if they're saying, let's go to trial so that we can explain why naka-zero declaration ng cash, naka-zero declaration bank deposit, because the thing is, they were incorporated in the item others. You will be going beyond what appears, the face value of the documents. So let's go to trial. That's the message that I got from the press con of the defense team.
Mukhang gusto nila mag-trial o resigned na sila na dediretso sa trial po ito?
That's how I understand their press con, no? They do not want really to attend the proceeding in the Justice Committee because it will be contradictory to their arguments in the petitions pending before the Supreme Court. And considering that they have a lot of questions to the evidences which were presented in the first two hearings so far, no? They keep on saying that we will be explaining this in detail in the proper forum. The proper forum is the Senate. So for me, I think they're submitted to go to trial.
Okay. Ako po, pwede naman po siguro ako magtanong ng probing question. No? Wala naman po tayo sa impeachment hearing. Okay, gusto ko lang patulan yung sinasabi nila na hindi. Walang line item from 2019 to 2024 doon sa cash in hand tsaka in bank. Pero nakalagay daw sa others. Pero kung nasa others yan, dapat magtali po yan, hindi po ba?
That's
Kasi doon sa others kasi kumbaga ano siya eh, for lack of a better term, parang lump sum eh, hindi po ba? Others,
That's
pinagsama-sama yon. Pero they would have to disaggregate that.
Pag others, they can also claim na nandun yung personal properties, nandun yung jewelries, nandun yung investment, nandun yung insurance, nandun yung cash, nandun yung money in bank, no? So, you're correct, Christian. Kahit i-claim nila na nandun to sa others, they should be able to prove and to tally all the amounts vis-a-vis the other documents from the different government agencies during the trial before the Senate.
Okay, ito pa, no? Kunin ko rin yung reaction nyo kasi bago yung press ko ng kanyang mga abogado, naglabas naman ng press release ito si Vice President Sara Duterte. Ang basa ko kasi rito, ano to, binabanatan yung accusers without necessarily addressing the issues concerned, no? Sabi niya kasi, for nearly a decade, Mr. Antonio Trillanes has been peddling the same incredible story about alleged billions in bank accounts from 2016 to 2026. Nothing in his narrative has changed. What has changed, however, is the machinery now backing him. Dito, implicated yung mga members ng House, kasama kayo. Sabi niya, today he is backed by a sitting president who must be compelled to submit to a simple drug test. Low-bender members of the House of Representatives that have received maletas and have repeatedly disregarded constitutional limits. Tapos sa bandang gitna, sabi niya, ang bawat sentimo ay mula sa lehitimong pinanggalingan at may kaukulang dokumento. Ayan, malinis daw yung kanyang public service record. How do you respond to these statements?
In spite of all those pronouncements, Christian, no, against Senator Trillanes, against the members of the Justice Committee, I think what is important is for her to respond to the specific allegations in the impeachment complaints. After this is an impeachment proceeding, the subject matter is the fitness of the impeachable official. And what is important is for her to be able to answer the specific allegations on confidential fund, on unexplained wealth / non-disclosure in the SALN, and the alleged threat, no? To this point, Christian, no, ang dami niyang sinasabi, but none of those actually is responsive to any of the specific allegations in the impeachment complaint. For me, it's like she's trying to divert the attention of the people who continues to believe in her to some other people instead of her answering the specific allegations.
Okay. Puntahan po natin yung affidavit ni former Senator Sonny Trillanes. Ang allegation na ay yung pamilya ng mga Duterte tumanggap ng 181.6 million from dito daw sa alleged or known drug lord na si Sammy Uy. How significant was this allegation and the confirmation at least on 18 transactions? The confirmation coming from the AMLAC.
Okay, I was told, Christian, that upon recounting, it's a total of 19 transactions.
19,
So,
hindi 18. Okay.
yeah. In conclusion, 19 out of 19 transactions randomly selected by Congresswoman Laila De Lima from the allegations of Senator Trillanes were confirmed by the AMLAC as very similar to the transactions in their report, no? 19 out of 19, walang sumablay, no?
Down to the
Pero-
last centavo po ba? Sorry. Down to the last centavo?
Yes, it's down to the last centavo. But what is another significant confirmation here, another significant confirmation, you mentioned about Samuel Uy, no? May pinakita dyan si Senator Trillanes na I think deposit of Samuel Uy to the account of the Vice President. 3 transactions of different dates but of exactly the same amount. I remember these are managers' check. And all of them, Christian, were confirmed as well. Part of the confirmation of the AMLAC, no? So this only means that even the Vice President, kasi dati ang sinasabi lagi, the former President is a cohort of the alleged drug lord Samuel Uy. Pero ito may direct transaction na between Samuel Uy, the alleged drug lord, and our Vice President. No, so what does it explain? No,
Basahin
I
ko
think
yung
there-
nahanap ko yung tinutukoy nyo, no? Sa allegation kasi ni Sonny Trillanes, October 25, 2011, BDO Unibank SM Lanang Branch, ang recipient Sara Duterte, 7.4 million. Tapos April 24, 2012, same bank branch, recipient Sara Duterte, Same amount, 7.4. Tumugma ito sa report na isinumite sa inyo ng AMLAC.
That is correct. They
Yung
were
dates na
part
yon.
of the, yes,
Mm.
those 3 transactions, which I believe are managers' checks issued by Samuel Uy to the Vice President, were part of the 19 out of 19 confirmed
Mm.
transactions by the AMLAC.
Mm. Okay. Yung claim ng kanyang mga abogado, ang position kasi nila, hindi dapat pag-usapan ito dahil hindi pa siya vice president niyan. You're impeaching her and you want her removed for supposed impeachable offenses that she committed while in the office of the vice president. Ano pong sagot
Well,
niyo doon?
the endorser constantly claimed that there's a need to present transactions even prior to the relevant periods because it is necessary for them to be able to establish the pattern of amassing unexplained wealth and not disclosing the same in the SALN, no? And I think it appears in the presentation of the evidence during the April 22 hearing.
Okay. Ang argument din nila, yung suspicious transactions mentioned by the AMLAC, they're not necessarily or automatically proof or evidence of any wrongdoing or any unlawful activity.
We agree to that. But nonetheless, the fact that it is considered as suspicious, it means that something has to be investigated on the alleged transactions.
Dun, patapos na po tayo. Alam ko busy kayo. Konti na lang po. Yung sa BIR documents, no? Sinubmit sa inyo, sa inyong komite, pero nakaseal. Hindi nyo pa siya binubuksan. Pero doon sa mga hindi familiar, no? Ano ba exactly yung inyong sinabpina? At ano ba mangyayari dito? Mabubuksan po ba ito?
What we subpoenaed from the BIR is copies or are copies of the income tax return. So that is supposed to disclose the individual earnings of the vice president and the husband, no? It can help explain the net worth, but it can also strengthen the case of the complainant, no? We cannot tell yet until we've seen the documents inside the box. At klaro, yung sinasabi ni BIR Commissioner, ang limitation lang sa confidentiality nila is whenever there is legislative inquiry and it will be done in an executive session. So, Christian, ang naging argument ng justice members, because we are totally divided here. One half is saying that this is an impeachment proceeding, we therefore cannot open the box. But the other half is saying that the impeachment proceeding is greater than a legislative inquiry and therefore we should be allowed to open the box. But because I've been very, very conservative since day one of this impeachment proceeding, I suggested to defer, to lay on the table the question of whether to open or not. So,
But that will
considering
be
Christian
settled
that,
next time.
yes, because April 29 is anticipated to be the last clarificatory hearing because we have only one offense left. That is the allegations of threat, no? So, after that, we're supposed to vote. If the majority of members of the Justice Committee have no other inclinations, we're supposed to vote on the determination of probable cause after the presentation of evidence in the allegations of threats. And we cannot leave the issue of opening the box hanging. So before we vote, we really need to resolve whether to open or not.
Okay. Sa April 29, ang pag-uusapan naman po in terms of clarificatory questions would be the threats made by the
Correct.
Vice President. Tama, no? What exactly
That's
would you
correct.
want from the NBI?
Well, we would like to know the result of their investigation with regards to the threat that was committed, allegations of threat of the Vice President against the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker. Kasi, di ba dinideny naman niya to? So,
Yun yung pupuntahan ko sana, no? Sa next question ko. Sige po.
kaya nga,
Go ahead.
but you know, this video was watched, was seen by the whole world, no? that it even became the headline of international news, di ba? So I think res ipsa loquitur. I think everybody will
Yes.
say that what has been said, di ba? And
Opo.
how can it be? I think they really have the practice of denying after making this utterances. I've
Okay.
seen this a lot of times from the former president that after making some utterances, he would suddenly say, "I'm just joking." No, so
Mm.
parang parehas din ito na after the threat, words of threat, utterances of threat, which was even confirmed in the succeeding interview, she suddenly said that she never threatened the president, the first lady, and the former speaker. I
Mhm.
don't know how else are we going to explain this after this video was seen by the whole world.
Yun nga po. I understand kung bakit ipapatawag yung NBI to provide an update dun sa kanilang investigation. Pero kita ng lahat ito na para bang maglolokohan pa ba tayo? Miski i-deny na hindi siya threat afterward, it was clearly a threat. Lalo kung
Yeah,
pagbabasihan natin yung panggigigil at yung bawat salitang kanyang binitawan, hindi po ba? So that
yeah.
was
That's why.
plain for
That's why
everyone to see.
also, Christian, the demeanor of the author of these utterances is also important, no?
Mm-mm.
And we observed that during the time that she was uttering this threat against the three subject personalities, no? Nakita mo naman galit na galit siya, 'di ba?
Mm-mm.
And for somebody who is so agitated, so infuriated, would you believe na hindi seryoso yung sinasabi niya? Parang it's hard to believe.
Mm-mm.
It's quite irreconcilable.
Mm. Tama ba yung recollection ko po? This was after her close aide, Attorney Zuleika Lopez was detained by the House Committee.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yun yung sequence of
That
events.
that was actually done inside the detention of Attorney Sulaika in the House of Representatives. That video
Oo.
was taken inside the detention room within the House of Representatives.
Ito ba yung nakasalampak siya sa floor, tapos madilim, tapos may
That's correct.
laptop or tablet? Okay. O sige po. Last question, Congresswoman. So basically after April 29, sa April 29 na rin kayo magbobotohan kung sakasakali as a committee?
If the majority of the justice members have no other inclination, we're supposed to vote.
Kailan po mangyayari yung botohan naman sa plenaryo kung i-impeach ang Vice President?
If we will be able to vote on April 29, I intend to suggest that we approve the committee report on May 4, and then we transmit it to the plenary in the afternoon. And then from there, we will be transmitting, sending copy of the committee report and the rest of the documents attached to it to the respondent vice president. And perhaps after a week, we can have the plenary vote. All of
Sorry,
these are
medyo naputol.
tentative. It will
After a week, sorry.
all of, yeah. Probably
Sorry po,
after
nawala
a
kayo.
week,
Mm-mm.
after we furnish copy of the committee report and all its attachments to the vice president, depending on the leadership. But I think after a week, we can do the plenary vote.
Okay, and then transmittal ng articles of impeachment kung sakali sa Senado.
On the assumption that probable cause will be supported by the Justice Committee and will be affirmed by the plenary.
Base lang naman sa lumabas sa mga observers na miski tanggalin yung kulay, parang ang hirap naman yatang paniwalaan na walang probable cause sa bigat ng mga lumabas. Probable cause pa lang naman yung pinag-uusapan.
That's
Okay.
correct. That's why it's
Apo.
easy to answer the question na, ano ba, tutuloy na ba to sa trials? It's because you will always recall na, probable cause lang ang hinihingi yung mga naglabasang ebidensya, explosive na. And considering that the threshold is very, very minimal. Diba? What do you think will be the necessary consequence of this proceeding? kung ganyan yung sitwasyon.
Okay. Sige po, Congresswoman Jinky Luistro, maraming salamat po for joining us tonight. Magandang gabi po sa inyo.
Thank you, Christian, at good evening po sa lahat ng followers and viewers of Facts First.
Okay, magandang gabi po. Yan po si Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. Okay, meron pa tayong second episode, no? Hintay-hintay lang po kayo. Ang next episode natin, live na live po yon. Si former Senator Sonny Trillanes. Marami po kami pag-uusapan, and if you have questions, just post them dito sa comment section. In the meantime, maraming salamat po. Ako po si Christian Esguera. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat.